Welcome to episode 155 of the Hurricane Mike Show, where even though the Saints did lose, at least we lost to a guy with two eyes. Cause why, Dad?
Two eyes. I don't know what you're trying to get at, but all I know is that the Atlanta Falcons suck.
Well, if you notice, Tua was only playing with one of his eyes.
Who?
Tua against Atlanta, he played with only one eye.
What happened to that eye?
It was swollen. He really couldn't see out of it.
That's a damn shame.
And yet, he still threw 4 touchdowns. That's just crazy. Man, the man was literally half blind, and he still threw 4 touchdowns on the boys. Man. Anyways, but yeah, let's get started. We got some games to go over, some blowouts, some weird upsets, and some heartbreakers for some teams as for week 8. Starting with the Thursday night game, which that's how you started off the week. The Los Angeles Chargers, man, putting that beat down on the Minnesota Vikings, and now Carson Wentz is done for the year, but it didn't really matter. Chargers win 37-10. Dad, what is your takeaway from this?
Yeah, you was right. It was a really weird weekend of football, that's for sure. And the Vikings got the doors blown off them. I mean, it wasn't surprising here. I mean, we know Carson Wentz wasn't gonna light it up, and unfortunately, he got hurt. And Big Max Bruiser came in, or whatever his name is. He didn't do much better. So yeah. So the Chargers roll to a victory.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Chargers, they're 5-3, and the Vikings are 3-4. So for the Chargers after this big win, it's like this was the win that they needed to have. Because it was like you can't lose to the Vikings if you're the Chargers, especially in the AFC West. Because the Chiefs, they're looking better now. The Broncos are looking pretty good. So if you're the Chargers and you're trying to keep up with those two, you got to win games like this, and that's what they did. Chargers dominated. Justin Herbert threw for 3 touchdowns. Herbert played like weeks 1, weeks 2. Justin Herbert. So if he can play like that every game, the Chargers might got some. He also threw a pick. He also threw a pick 6 that didn't count, but it is what it is. But yeah. And now let's get to the best game of the week, as the Miami Dolphins, man, 34-10 on the Atlanta Falcons. And look, if y'all were watching the John O'Barnes show last night, shout out to him. Ziggy predicted it was last week, but Ziggy predicted Miami to beat Atlanta. And last night they rolled back the tape when he said that. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Because last week I tried telling y'all. I even tried telling you that. I even tried telling you. This was a game Atlanta was going to lose. And boy, they did more than lose, man. They got beat down with a one-eyed man.
Woo. Man.
Man, but like Atlanta didn't even score a touchdown like the last 5 minutes. It's like, bro, man, I understand you didn't have Penix. I understand you didn't have London. However, did you know Atlanta, before the game, had the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL statistically?
Wow, I did not know that.
But guess what? That don't matter when you got 34 points dropped on your head. Oh! So yeah, other than what I said, what's your takeaway from this one?
Man, Tua Tagovailoa, one-eye bandit, looking like Dan Marino reincarnated or something. I mean, they took it to the. I didn't see this coming, man. I went against my better judgment and picked the Falcons last week. Jesus. So I know my record was horrible, But
We had the same record.
man, I bet on the Falcons and lost. That should give me 3 L's right there in one. Just give me 3 L's for that one because I'll take my L's and we'll go on with that. But yeah, the Dolphins. I mean, not only passed it, but they also ran for 141 yards on them, and yeah, so it wasn't a good night for Kirk Cousins. He looked like he hasn't played football in a long while, and he hasn't. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta, bro. Man, you lost to a team that was on 3-game losing streak. You lost to a team that got killed by the Browns. You lost to a team that didn't have Tyreek Hill. You lost to a Dolphins team where their head coach was probably the favorite to be fired. And you're like, you know what? Let's get 34 points dropped on our tail. It's like, when you have the number one defense, okay. At least when the Saints had a number one defense a few years ago, at least we were consistent with it. Y'all, we don't know if Atlanta's going to shock the world or be shocked. Because, like, one game they're beating the almighty Buffalo Bills. The next game they're getting shut out by the Panthers. One game they were playing great against Washington. Next game they got blown out by Tua. You never know with these folks. You just got to pick what your gut says. And my gut said Miami was going to beat them, and that's what they did. Dolphins beat Atlanta 34-10 anyways. Okay, let's talk about a different one. Another upset I got right, man. I picked the Jets to come out swinging, and oh boy, 39-38. And who would have thought that this week the best game of the week would have been Jets Bengals? Who would have thought that? Who would have thought? But yeah, so what's your reaction to this one?
My reaction is very simple. The Jets can't lose them all, can they?
No, I guess not.
I mean, they got their first victory of the year, and Justin Fields, have you a game, young man? I mean, where did this come from? I mean, he couldn't pass the ball for 10 yards the other day, and now he carved up. I mean, Cincinnati. We've been talking about your sad defense for a couple of years now. I mean, what is really going on? I mean, talking about Mike McDaniel should have got fired. I mean, what's up with this defensive coordinator? He needs to be sitting over there with Brian Kelly right now, bro.
Yeah, Al Golden. This is his first year too. Whew.
Bye.
Yeah, Al Golden. He was the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, and the Bengals hired him to replace Lou Anarumo, and it's like, woo-wee. As Jokic gets the first bucket of the game, that's not good. But yeah, Jets 39-38. Brees Hall, man, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, and wait, does that say a passing touchdown? Woo-wee. Yo, did you see the guy that caught the game-winning touchdown?
Nope.
My boy Mason Taylor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
LSU. Yeah, man. Man, I miss when we had a good offense. But yeah, man, Mason Taylor, that boy carved up the Bengals, and it's good because I had him in a couple fantasy leagues too. So thank you, Mason. But yeah, Jets win 39-38 for their first win of the year. And now they're probably going to lose by 20 in their next game. But hey, at least they got this one, man. Anyways, next we got the Patriots, man. Now, Dad, would you believe me if I told you in this very same game, Myles Garrett had 5 sacks?
I believe you because I saw it. I saw the stat sheet. He did have 5 complete sacks.
How does this man have 5 sacks and y'all still lose by 3 scores, bro? 32-13 in a game where Myles Garrett was single-handedly making Drake May wish he was never. Boom! Woo! So what's your takeaway from this one?
Well, when Drake May was not laying on his back, he was throwing 3 touchdown passes. And, yeah, I mean, how y'all just going to give up 5 sacks? I mean, y'all might want to block that guy. He's pretty good. Double team him, trip him, hold him, something. I mean, how do you get 5 sacks in today's NFL? I don't know, but yeah, Drake May had 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and the answer to the question is how do they lose a game like this? Because they're just awful. I mean, the Browns' offense can't score no points. They were lucky to get this 13 points.
Yeah. Well, all right, Shador, you're up. Dylan Gabriel, bro. At this point, you might as well start Shador. You know, you got nothing else to lose. At least, if you're gonna lose, at least have some animosity behind it. But no, 32-13 in the game where Drake May threw 3 touchdowns, and Myles Garrett sacked that same dude 5 times. He literally got a handful of sacks. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Myles Garrett had more sacks than the Saints had turnovers on Sunday.
Ooh.
Ooh-wee. And the Saints had a lot of those. Myles Garrett had more sacks than the Saints had points on Sunday.
Myles Garrett is pretty good at football. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. Man, Myles Garrett's going to be one of those guys where he's going to have a great career. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people will remember it, but it's not going to be as great as a career as like Lawrence Taylor or anybody of that caliber. You know why? Because he had to watch his talents be wasted by the Cleveland Browns. This man is like one of the best, if not the best, edge rusher in football. And you know why people don't recognize him as that? Well, smart people do. But you know these stupid nerds that don't? Because the Browns are 2-6. Because the Browns are the Browns. And the Browns will always be the Browns. Because the Browns are just one of those teams that God just chosen to not do good at football. And that's, the Browns. That's their story. That is their story. When the football overlord was writing down the story, it was like, okay, we're going to make the Browns suck forever. For no reason. But we're going to make them suck. And yeah, I don't know why they're cursed, but don't shoot the messenger. 32-13, Patriots win. In a game where the Patriots also came out a little sluggish, but then the second half happened. So yeah. Next. Eagles beating the New York Giants, got that monkey off their backs as they got their revenge from a couple Thursdays ago as they win 38-20. That was your takeaway from this one.
I can't remember the exact score I predicted, but I think it was around here. I think I had the Eagles, winning a high-scoring game with Giants, around 20, something. I can't remember. But, yeah, the Eagles back in the win column. It looked like they got their mojo back. They ran the ball pretty good in this one. Ooh, pretty good. 276 rushing yards. What are y'all doing, Giants? Y'all might want to tackle somebody. I mean, you might want to do something. Trip them, hold them, scratch them, something. I don't know.
Yeah, Eagles win, man. Saquon Barkley got his revenge against his former team, the New York Giants, as he got 150 yards by himself. And the Giants, they had Cam Skattebo, right? Not no more. The Giants are also one of those teams where they're just cursed by the football overload. Whenever the Giants get a good player, you know what's going to happen? They're going to get the season-ending injury. First, they had Neighbors, then Skattebo. I heard a video, or I watched the video the other day where, he wasn't actually a Giants fan, but he was pretending to be a Giants fan. And he was like, man, I hope we never get a good player again because they always got to get hurt. Because Neighbors and Skattebo, it's like, phew. Man, bad luck, Giants. Don't root for injuries, but that's just bad luck. Moving on. Do we have to go over this? What else does there need to be said? Bills win 40-9. Just that. I think I should end it. But anyways, Dad, what's your takeaway from this one?
My takeaway is poor Panthers. Poor Panthers. I mean,
poor Dalton.
They thought they had something. They came into this week 4-3. They're like, man, we got to make a push for that playoff. And then, yeah, Andy Dalton happened. He didn't do too good. What happened to Bryce Young?
He got hurt last week against the Jets, and he couldn't return to the game. So they're like, we're not going to play you.
Yeah, so the Red Rifle took this game, and he didn't do too well. No touchdowns, 1 pick. lost 40-9. I mean, what can you say? I mean,
Yeah.
Josh Allen did Josh Allen things, and they win and go to 5-2.
Yep. Bills, man. Grief. James Cook, man, 216 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's just on the ground. Josh Allen accounted for 3 of the touchdowns. Whew. It's just man, this game is just one for the ages. It's like Bills, and hey, the Bills do this every year, where they have a couple games where they lose to teams that they really should beat, like Atlanta and the Patriots. Like the Patriots are good, but you think the Bills should still at least beat them. But then they turn around and put 40 on somebody, and unfortunately, it was the poor old Panthers, 40-9. But it is what it is. Next, the Baltimore Ravens beating the Chicago Bears 30-16 with the Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley, aka Tyler Huntley. But yeah, what is your recap from this one?
My recap from this one: who needs Lamar Jackson? I mean, we don't need no Lamar Jackson. We got Tyler Huntley throwing that 1 touchdown, no picks. But yeah. So I don't know. The Ravens are 2-5 now. You think they got it in them to make a run and get back into the division race? I think so, because the Bengals, they're a little shaky. And what else the division has? Pittsburgh, a little shaky. So Baltimore has a chance if they can just stay the course and Lamar come back sooner than later. They still have a chance to make a run in this division.
Yeah, okay, hold up. So yeah, Baltimore, they're 2-5. Well, right now I'm trying to pull up their schedule. This thing will load. But they play tomorrow against Miami. That game I think is gonna be interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'll even say, even if they lose to Miami tomorrow night, I think that they could make a run, okay? And it's not just about the division. I mean, obviously, because if you win the division, you make the playoffs, and you just got to finish top 7 in the AFC, which is, easier said than done. But, we've seen teams come back from farther down. Ravens are 2-5, right? But I think we can all agree that they would have been at least a little bit better if Lamar was playing most of the games. You probably beat the Rams. You definitely, well, maybe not definitely, but you pretty surely beat the Texans. Like, it feels like yesterday we were watching Lamar get hurt against Kansas City, and it's already been 3 weeks. But let's look at their schedule, right? Tomorrow they got Miami. That game's winnable, right? They got the Vikings after that. We don't even know who the Vikings quarterback. So if Lamar's back for at least that Minnesota game, they should win that one. They play the Browns. It's always interesting in the divisional games, but let's be honest, you should beat Cleveland. The Jets. The Jets just got to win, but they're still the Jets. You play against the Bengals, who have the worst defense I've ever seen. They play against the Steelers. It's an AFC North matchup. Anything can go. You play against the Bengals. I already said what I had to say about them. You play against the Patriots. Now that game's gonna be a little interesting. The Patriots are good, so you might drop that one. But even if you do, you play the Packers. Where the Packers, they've been inconsistent a little bit. Then you got the Steelers again. So they have 5 losses right now. So let's say they drop the one. Let's say they drop one of the Bengals games. And let's say they drop to the Patriots. That's only 7 losses. And let's say maybe the Packers. Maybe. Depending on what Packers you see. Then they're 9-8. Dad, do you think there's any other games other than those 3 that you could really see the Ravens dropping?
But like you laid out there, they're all winnable games, except that Patriots game. I think that's one that, the Patriots get hands down. But even those Steelers games, I mean, those are all toss-ups to me, in my mind.
Yeah, Ravens. I think Like, I won't be shocked if Miami does beat them tomorrow because, Miami just had a great win. And Baltimore, they also had a solid win. But it's like Lamar, even if he does play tomorrow, he's probably going to be a little bit rusty. So I won't be shocked if Miami pulls it off. But even if that happens, like, I think 9-8, 10-7 is still in the realm of possibility because like they have a pretty soft schedule for the most part, and you would be surprised by that because the Ravens literally won their division last year. Like how do they get the softest schedule I've ever seen? But I'll make the freaking schedule. I don't know how they do that, but yeah. So maybe I think the Ravens. I think the Ravens still have a chance. I do. Yeah, and I think the chance is probably. I think that they probably still have a chance to win the division. To be honest with you, but yeah. Next one, we got the Texans beating the 49ers 26-15. Sadiq Bey for 3. But yeah, Texans win 26-15 over the 49ers. What's your takeaway from this one?
My takeaway is there's a bad loss for the 49ers. I mean, I didn't see this one coming. I don't know if you did. But Mac Jones, he had one of his worst performances. And C.J. Stroud had one of his best performances, over 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, and they ran the ball pretty good, 157. So, yeah, bad loss by the 49ers. They dropped to 5-3. They're still in good position to, take a run at this division, but bad loss. They're going to have to shake this, this taste out their mouth and get back to work.
Yeah, now, look. C.J. Stroud, maybe, like, I still know what to think about Stroud at this point. It's like Stroud, he plays good sometimes, but there's also some games where he doesn't, okay? However, he definitely played great on Sunday, as this was his season high, 318 passing yards. And he also had 2 touchdowns to lead the way. 49ers, they kind of came back at the end, but not really. Texans win 26-15, and hey, if Houston can get some more wins going, they could make a run at the playoffs, but they got to get things going. Now let's talk about a game I'm not excited to talk about. Buccaneers beat the Saints 23-3 on Sunday. And probably Spencer Riley's last game of the season, as if y'all remember, he got benched for Shuck on yesterday. It was announced Shuck would start from here on out unless something happens to him. But yes, you have any more thoughts other than what you said on Sunday?
Man, I thought we talked about this game already.
And we're going to talk about it again.
But, yeah, so it looks like it's Shuck's job to lose for the rest of the season. I mean, I guess this is just a move just to see what you have with the rookie. I mean, we saw, a good sample size of Rattler. Now we're going to see a good sample size of Shuck because some decisions need to be made this offseason, and you have to have a good idea of both of these guys, how they're going to fit into your future plans.
Yeah, I mean, with Tyler Shuck, the thing was with him, like, the reason he was sitting on the bench wasn't because he wasn't good enough to play. It was always we don't want to throw him to the wolves immediately. Okay, I mean, because you saw Titans did the same thing with Cam Ward, they didn't do what we did with Shuck, but you know how they threw Ward to the wolves, right? He's not playing very well right now, and history shows that quarterbacks that usually sit behind a veteran usually be playing pretty good. The guys that just get their feet to the fire early, and now you have your Burrows and your at the time your C.J. Stroud, your Jayden Daniels, who they can start immediately and be good for you immediately. But you also get your Jamarcus Russells, your Josh Rosens, who else? Your at the time Bryce Young, Cam Ward, Caleb Williams, like these guys that start immediately and they're not really that good. So yeah, we'll see if Shuck can be good. At this point, we knew heading into the season what it was basically going to be. This season is basically just preseason for next season. Like these are just like these are just 17 preseason games that we're playing. Okay, it's like we're still trying to see what we have in some of these guys. Okay, because this year was a developmental year, and even Mickey Loomis came out and said that this is a rebuilding year. So, I mean, it's never good to lose to Tampa Bay, but hey, at least it wasn't like we lost to Atlanta or nothing. So yeah. Anthony Nelson, but did you see that stiff arm though?
I can't remember.
When that man picked off the ball and just decided he was going to murder Spencer Rattler?
Oh yeah.
Man, oh man. Saints lose. What else is new? Next, we got the Denver Broncos taking care of the worst. Shoot, honestly, I think the Cowboys defense might be worse than the Bengals. To be honest with you, 44-24. You know who could have maybe helped in this game, Dad?
Who's that?
Micah Parsons. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Broncos win 44-24. How do you score 24 points and you still lose by 20? That makes no sense to me. But anyways, what's your takeaway from this one?
You know who else could have helped in this game?
Who?
Dak Prescott. But he was too busy throwing 2 interceptions, so he didn't help much. But yeah, the Broncos just act like all game long that this was the fourth quarter against the Giants or something. I mean, we're gonna go up and down the field. We're gonna score all these points. We're gonna blow them out. So yeah, so they just picked up where they left off last week, and it was good to see. But I mean, how good is it really? I mean, the Cowboys defense is trash. So don't get too ahead of yourself, Broncos fans. Just take the W and don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, Broncos win 44-24. Bo Nix and some rookies on Denver's side of things led them to a 44-24 victory. And the Broncos currently have a 9 home game winning streak right now. So the Broncos are doing the thing, man. The Broncos are doing the thing. They're doing it with our old head coach too. But that's all right. We got Ellen Moore now. Woo! Jokic gets blocked. Okay, sorry guys, I'm watching the Pelicans game if you couldn't tell. But anyways, yeah, that game happened. Next one. Indianapolis Colts beating up on the poor Tennessee Titans, 38-14. Dad, what's your takeaway from this one?
Ooh, those Colts, boy. Is it too early to say that the Colts may be the best team in the NFL? And is it too early to say, is this crazy to say Daniel Jones for MVP?
I think it is too early. I mean, I think the Colts right now are the best team in the NFL. But I still think it's too early if that's like a projection for you. And 2, I think it is crazy to think Daniel Jones is an MVP candidate. I'm not saying he's not an MVP candidate right now, but it's still crazy to say that.
Three touchdowns, no interceptions.
Man, this is the same dude that got ran out of New Jersey too. It's like, bro. But yeah, Colts win 38-14. Jonathan Taylor. We talk about Daniel Jones being up for the MVP conversation. Where they're not going to give it to Taylor because he's a running back. But let's talk about Jonathan Taylor, man. 3 touchdowns. Now the Colts have the best NFL record with a 7-1. Their only loss coming to the Rams, which I think everybody can agree is a quality loss. Jose with the steal. Pass it out. Sadiq Bey with 3. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, Sadiq Bey is definitely gonna get 10 points. So that's nice. But yeah, Colts win 38-14. And Sunday night football. Whew. The only team that Aaron Rodgers has never beaten was the Green Bay Packers, and it's probably gonna end that way as the Packers beat the Steelers 35-25. Now, what's your takeaway from this one?
My takeaway is that we need to start giving some love to Jordan Love. I mean, this dude had 3 touchdowns, no picks in a Sunday night game against, pressure was on him too. I mean, here comes Aaron Rodgers in here, and, he's getting a little pressure because this is the guy he unseated. So I got to prove that, I'm worth this pick and everything. So he had a lot of pressure on him too, and he came through in a big way. Much love to Jordan Love, and
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you still haven't beat the Packers, so maybe you'll do it, in a Super Bowl or something.
Maybe. I mean, unless he goes to a team that, because he only signed a 1 year deal, so maybe he'll go somewhere
Yeah.
or they'll play against the Packers or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think the Saints are actually playing the Packers next year. Maybe a conspiracy. But anyways, yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers. The big thing was him going back to Pittsburgh. Well, the game was in Pittsburgh, but the big thing was about him playing against the team that drafted him. And it did not go as well as he planned. I'm not gonna lie. At first, it looked like the Steelers were gonna run away with this thing because they were up 16-7 going into the half. I'm pretty sure. And then the Green Bay came out in the second half, and they never looked back. Steelers can only respond with field goals until they got a touchdown late, but it was basically where Packers were just playing prevent not to lose at that point. And Jordan Poole, what was that? Well, that wasn't really on Poole, but whatever. Packers win 35-25. And Jordan Love, man, she basically beat his father. But yeah, Monday night, Kansas City Chiefs beat the Washington Commanders 28-7. Where the Commanders had a chance in the first half, and the second half happened where it was no. But hey, you saw a guy an interception, right?
Lattimore.
And Lattimore might not be as washed as we thought he was, man. Maybe not. Maybe it was just the early season jitters. But Chiefs win 28-7. What you feel about this one?
I feel that they are in bad need of somebody named Jaden Daniels to come back to the lineup because Marcus Mariota's not it. He's just not it. He couldn't move the ball that much and turned it over a couple times. You can't do that. I mean, Spencer Rattler got benched for turning it over, so he cannot do that. And the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a very good game. I mean, he threw 2 picks, one to Lattimore, not washed up. But but they did enough to beat Washington. I mean, Washington was outmanned in this one without their quarterback.
Yeah, Mahomes, man, he slung 3 touchdowns though, so he did enough to win. Travis Kelce gained 99 yards. The Chiefs did enough to win, and that's basically all. Like there wasn't really much to say on this one. Like Terry McLaurin, hey, he's back to his old self, but that's like the only thing Commanders fans can smile at this point. I mean, Jaden Daniels is coming back, but they're 3-5. I mean, it's not impossible for Washington to make playoffs, but I don't know. You're probably not win. You're probably not taking away the division from the Eagles. And to get a playoff spot, you have to be top 7, and I don't know. You're already behind the 8 ball with Jaden Daniels getting hurt, so I don't know. But Chiefs win 28-7, and the Chiefs are not as done as we thought they were. So do you have anything to say about anything?
Nope, I'm good. Great job as always, buddy.
Yep, you too. All right, Dad, where can they find you?
Find me at Mic'd Up YouTube channel and on Hurricane Mike Show every week.
Yeah, you can also find me at Hurricane Mike, Kyle Phelps, and Keeping It Real Who Has Most podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn the bell on so you don't miss another future upload. And Dad, we're going to leave them as always with a who dat and don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcons fan. They lose to a guy with one eye.
Amen. Only one of them.
Can't see.
Can't see him.